Get the champagne ready. The NBA Finals are here.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Let's raise our glasses and our rings to the two phenomenal teams left standing.
My goodness!
Here's to high-stakes action, to thrilling moments we can't miss.
He ties the game at the buzzer!
And to crowning our next champion. Here's a toast to the NBA Finals. The 2024 NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV, begin Thursday, June 6th on ABC.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, how to get 30, how to get 20, 20, 20, how to get 20, 20, how to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you, sir?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen. Don't listen to this podcast.
Don't listen to this.
If you're not of age.
What's of age?
18.
So 16?
18. We're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
Hey.
Part 2 of Lizzie Borden, the axe murderer. Or maybe not.
Hey,
or
we'll
maybe,
find out today.
Or maybe.
Maybe.
We're going to solve this one today.
Yeah,
I mean, I've already solved it. I just haven't told you that I haven't solved it.
Obviously, if you have not listened to episode 1,
then this is not going to make sense.
Yeah, go back.
And it would just be, why would you do that? Who dives in and listens
what
to
kind
episode
of psycho
2?
just jumps to number 2?
And what kind of Lizzie Borden? You know what? I'm only going to listen to every second episode.
You know, I went to the upstairs and then I went to the downstairs. I was in the barn. I had a pear and then an apple.
I had 3 pears.
Then I shredded it up and then I went back downstairs to the pump. Yeah, no big deal.
No biggie.
And if you guys don't even know what that means, then go back to number 1.
Point proven.
So also, as a reminder, this is a VIP episode of Patreon. Thanks to Cece.
C-Sizzle.
Shout out, Cece.
We appreciate your support. It really means a lot to us. It keeps the show going.
Yeah. And Caprice and Dan.
Oh, yeah.
It's Ben.
That's what Caprice and Ben.
I said.
I know. I was thinking like Big Dan, but it's like Big Ben. That sounds way. I don't know why I fucked that up. Whoops! It is.
We're gonna keep it in.
Oh yeah.
Caprice and Dan. I keep saying Dan.
Who the fuck is Dan?
I know.
Who the fuck is Dan, bro?
Starting shit between their relationship.
It's Ben.
Ben's like, who the fuck is Dan?
I know. They're both 3 letters. They're both 1 syllable. I mean, come on, give me a break here.
Now the research was done by Ben and Caprice, and we appreciate you guys.
We really do. Thank you.
Now, Sean is the video editor, official video editor now, so he might keep that. He might keep that out.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
He might keep that out.
I mean, I might do like a little superimpose myself over and like Caprice and Ben.
Fucking put some AI behind it and change it to Ben.
Make me just I'll just look like Adonis over here. Like. Yeah,
so last time we left you off, the trial was about to happen. The murders happened.
Yes.
And you know the botched job of the police.
I mean, the worst detective work I've ever.
Fall River PD is just fucking
just killing it.
Poor, yeah. So word spread quickly throughout Fall River following the murders of Abby and Andrew Borden. By August 6th, which was 2 days after, local newspapers began to question Lizzie's involvement. And by August 9th, a private inquest about the murders began, and Lizzie Borden, among others, were questioned by the DA Knowlton. Some new information was introduced throughout the course of the 3-day inquest. Now, it's kind of strange because nowadays we don't do private inquests before the trial. It's kind of like hiring a PI or a special committee is put together before the trial to, I guess, determine if charges were going to be brought against a person. So
what we do now, it's like this would be, that private inquest is more or less like the grand jury.
Yeah.
Like, so you have a grand jury.
Or a judge would determine if there's enough evidence to go to trial.
That's what that's exactly what a grand jury is.
No, but there would be a jury.
No,
it would be a judge.
It's called the grand jury.
Oh.
Okay. Well, Sean, once again, schooling us.
But that doesn't make sense though, because the jury,
why
there's
you call
no
it grand
jury. There's no jury. It's just the judge.
All right. So a grand jury there is a jury, but this is the whole point of it. A group of citizens empowered by law to conduct legal proceedings, investigate potential criminal conduct, and determine whether criminal charges should be brought. A grand jury may subpoena physical evidence or a person to testify. A grand jury is separate from the courts, which does not preside over its functioning. So it's not like they're on trial. They're just like, they decide whether, okay, now you can take it to trial. Okay. So it's very similar where it's hey, whether or not this should be taken to trial or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's similar, but it's different.
They don't go through the 6-month drudgery. They just go, should it go to trial or not?
Yeah, should it go to, is there enough evidence that this should be tried? Okay. And if not, they're like, no. Okay. And then it's like, oh, case dismissed.
My assumption is that there could be an actual jury or there could just be a judge. It's
that like there has been there's things that they go and they're like, here's the evidence, and judges like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, no,
exactly.
Throw it out.
Yeah. So during this 3-day inquest, there was a couple new pieces of circumstantial evidence that came forward, okay? Alice Russell, she said that 2 days before the inquest began, so right after the murder, she had gone to the Borden home and found Lizzie burning a dress on the kitchen stove. Lizzie said that they had recently had...
On the stove?
Lizzie said
that...
a
dress here. Yeah. Don't mind me.
Lizzie said that they had recently had painters at the house, and she brushed up her backside against a wall, leaving a red stain on her blue corduroy dress. Her sister Emma was present for this, and she vouched that, or she said that it had been her idea to burn the dress because others might see that dress with a red stain on it as suspicious. And Lizzie was wearing that blue dress on the day of the murders.
Okay.
Come on now.
But why? Just why? Why would you burn it at the kitchen stove? Why wouldn't you just make a fire out back?
Where else are you going to burn it?
In a fire
nothing in this house.
Outside of the house.
This house is nothing.
They got no wood. They got like fucking no flints. No.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, just make a bonfire. But why? On the kitchen, isn't the house going to be all smoky?
It's just as easy to do it in the kitchen. Why not?
This is
the kitchen.
What the fuck, Jorge? What are you talking about?
Have you ever tried to burn something on your stove?
Coming from the guy who's like, why are they having breakfast tacos in Victorian Boston?
So what's crazy about it, or what's weird, is like the sister who wasn't there the day of the murders said that she told her to do it.
Wait.
What?
So you remember Emma? Yeah. Emma was a sister who was out of town.
Was like, you should burn it.
But during the trial, Emma said that she told her to burn the dress because she would...
Because it would look
incriminating.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
I mean...
Maybe it's just a sister trying to be a sister and being like, hey, I don't know what you did.
You know what we have here, boys? We have the definition of a conspiracy.
Oh, that's right.
More than one person.
That's right.
In cahoots to commit a crime.
That's right.
This is a fucking conspiracy.
That's true.
Damn it.
That's true.
It falls under our purview.
Maybe the sister was just not a snitch. Didn't want to get snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
So she was like,
she's like, I really can't go for stitches right now.
Yeah. I don't want to get an axe, a hatchet to my head.
She's like, you're cool. Burn the dress. Girl, they deserved it.
But
it
does open up that thing that we questioned about in the last episode, where it was, what did she do with all the blood? And like,
so maybe she just took off the dress, but like
took off the dress, but put it in like a closet,
or maybe
and then
maybe
2 days later, she's like, "Fuck it, I better burn this."
Maybe she had put something on like a fucking hairnet with a cloth or something.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I would.
I don't know. I don't know what they had back then.
I would do the same for my brother. I would fucking be like, I'd back him up. I don't want to fucking see. I would.
No. Honestly.
Fuck
murder.
Dude.
Be honest.
Yes, I would.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, you're so, like that's a.
That's why I said. That's why I was trying to cut through. That's why I was trying to cut through.
I'm like,
are you in a murder situation?
Here's the thing. I just wouldn't be
but
like,
you
don't say shit to me. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave
town.
I'm gonna leave town. I'm not gonna say shit.
But to keep in mind, Emma didn't necessarily know if she did it or didn't do it.
See, that's what I wouldn't want to know.
That I'm putting myself in Emma's situation.
Okay. Yeah. So she comes back into town.
She comes back into town. You don't really know. She doesn't know for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then
cops
maybe
don't
you
know.
ask
Nobody
her.
really knows.
Maybe you ask her, and she's like, "No, I didn't do it."
Right.
And you're like, burn that fucking dress,
all right.
dog.
All right.
And now she's
Then
going to be on
now you gotta
trial.
protect
You're like,
her.
Ollie, burn that dress.
Yeah.
Right now.
He does love to wear dresses.
Also brothers. You're like a loser.
Yeah. Okay, so also found out a day after the murders, the investigators figured out that Lizzie had attempted to buy something called prussic acid, which is also known as cyanide, in town. Allegedly,
that's why she the sticky fingers. Right?
She said that she was buying the cyanide in order to clean sealskin capes.
Okay.
And by buying, we mean stealing.
Yeah, and her dad's like, fine.
Now,
okay.
keep in mind, this is 1890 or 1892 or whatever, so
I mean,
cyanide is not what we think of it now as like rat poison or...
You sure? Because it's kind of...
It's a poison, but it wasn't like killing everybody. It wasn't like what Hitler killed himself with. And
oh, no, they were
you don't really
using
know
it
it as that.
Cleaning solution,
yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But also... Yes. What the fuck is a sealskin cape?
True.
I mean, I'm stuck on that.
Well, you're like rich. You're going to the show.
I mean, well, I don't know. Andrew was
grab me the sealskin.
Andrew was like the poorest rich guy I've ever heard of. Like,
True.
But
yeah, but he's gone. No, he's not dead yet.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he is dead. But no,
she went to
she
go buy
went
that.
to the day before.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm gonna have to Google what a sealskin cape looks like. That sounds.
Yeah,
like,
we got to put up a picture if we can find something
some
like
rich right there.
So at that time, you needed a prescription to buy it. So she was turned away by the pharmacist.
Oh, okay.
So she didn't actually buy it.
You need a prescription to buy a cleaning solution?
Yeah. What the fuck? Okay.
Strangely enough, 2 days prior to the murder, Abby had gone to see Dr. Bowen, the same Dr. Bowen that they went to fetch him at his house. And Abby had gone to see Dr. Bowen and reported concerns of the whole family being sick. So the stepmom is Abby. Oh. Abby went to Dr. Bowen saying, I feel like everybody's getting sick in the family.
Oh, so she's a cyanide everybody?
Remember Maggie was like, I got sick.
Oh, yeah, she got sick.
Didn't feel good.
After the biscuits or the fucking
the
cakes
cookies.
or
Yeah, the Johnny Seeds. Johnny
Johnny
Apple Cakes.
They're called like Johnny Be Goods. Yeah, whatever the fuck they were.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Here's a cool fact. A crocodile can't stick out its tongue. Another cool fact, you can get short-term health insurance for a month or just under a year in some states. United Healthcare short-term insurance plans are designed for people who are between jobs, coming off their parents' plan, or turning a side hustle into a full-time gig. Underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, they offer flexible, budget-friendly coverage with access to a nationwide network of doctors and hospitals. Get more cool facts about United Healthcare short-term plans at uh1.com.
Okay.
Anyways, okay.
Hey, that's
It's
a connection, potentially.
Yeah. She and Andrew had been complaining about nauseousness and general illness. Lizzie had also told a friend that she had seen a strange man lurking around their barn and thought their milk may have been poisoned by this strange man.
Who said this, Lizzie?
Lizzie.
Yeah.
Despite this, the coroner...
I know. Like 50 misdirects.
Yeah.
But
despite this, the coroner reports of both bodies being revealed that there were no traces of poison in their system.
I mean, do they even have the technology to test for that
at 1890, this is 1890 coroner.
And then he pretty much takes the blood out and he's like, yeah, seems legit.
So I wanted to give you a little taste of the testimony of Lizzie. It's a little wild, so bear with me, and you don't need to just be like, I don't get it, because
I feel like they should.
You're not going to get it.
I feel like they should change the reporting on like judicial matters to the taste of the testimony.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of this little slides right off the tongue there. Taste the testimony.
Okay, so we'll call it the lawyer says, do you know of anybody that your father was on bad terms with? Lizzie said, there was a man that came there that he had trouble with. I don't know who the man was.
There was a man.
When?
Some time ago.
Lizzie, I cannot locate the time exactly. It was within 2 weeks. That is, I don't know the date or the day of the month.
Within 2 weeks. Okay.
Question. Tell all you saw and heard.
Damn, that's like they're like blanket, like speak.
Lizzie, I did not see anything. I heard the bell ring, and Father went to the door and let him in. I did not hear anything for some time except just the voices. Then I heard the man say, I would like to have that place. I would like to have that store. Father said, I'm not willing to let your business go in there. And the man said, I thought with your reputation for liking money, you would let your store for anything. Father said, you are mistaken. Then they talked a while, and then their voices were louder, and I heard Father order him out and went to the front door with him.
Begone, sir.
Question, have you any idea who that was? Lizzie, no, sir. I think it was a man from out of town because he was going home to see his partner. Question, beside that, do you know of anybody that your father had bad feelings toward or who had bad feelings towards your father? Lizzie, I know of one man who had not been friendly with him. They have not been friendly for years. She then proceeds to say somebody that's not relevant to the case.
Like, it was
some random
guy.
Pastor Stevenson back in Wichita.
So here's the point of this testimony is this is when she's saying these are the possible people who killed him.
Okay.
I also
and it's pretty vague.
I think it's spectacular. There was a fucking
testimony?
Stenographer.
Yes,
like
I know,
in the 1800s, like writing this shit down.
Yeah. So Lizzie's testimony is extremely frustrating. If you wanted to read it all, you could. It's kind of psycho.
Like the whole thing is like
the whole thing is pretty crazy and
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know where I was. I don't know who it was. I don't know when it was. I don't know the date. I don't know the month.
Some time ago, some guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Within the last 30 years.
Some say she was trying to outsmart the DA, and
clearly she did. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. And some say she had a vendetta against her father, or it may have been the fact that Lizzie was regularly receiving doses of morphine during the trial.
I was going to say, keep in mind the whole time she's not very 100% with it.
So she was given morphine almost every day during the inquest and the later trial, making her, I mean, nowadays it would almost make her testimony inadmissible, right?
Oh, dude. If you were testifying on drugs, it would 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
Yeah.
It's like, you just can't, you can't do that. What happened? Fucking. Wait.
Jiminy Cricket.
Wait, you look cool.
Yeah. So besides Lizzie, Emma, her older sister, also testified and provided her own alibi. While Emma was out of town for the murders, she did give the alleged advice to her sister about burning her dress on the stove, raising questions of whether or not Emma was an accomplice to the murder or an accomplice to the after fact.
Accomplice to like the cleanup?
Yeah. Next up on the stand was Uncle John Morris. Remember Uncle?
Oh, yeah, he was laughing.
Uncle stayed. There had been business-related tension between Andrew and John in the past, which was, I guess you would consider a potential motive. But he was also quickly disregarded as a suspect as he had a super airtight alibi, being out in town, seeing shop owners. He went to the post office, and the postmaster was like, howdy, friend.
Hey,
and,
Joe. Put her there.
So he really couldn't have been directly involved, maybe
it was a
on the side involved. Yeah. The most important testimony and the most coherent came from Bridget. Bridget is Maggie.
Bridget is Maggie.
Or
he was like, who?
Yeah, I was like, who?
The maid. She raised questions on where Lizzie was throughout the day. She didn't see anyone come into the house or any of the rooms while she was cleaning the windows that day, including when she came inside to wash the interior windows. So if you were going to go outside and you were going to wash the outside, sure as shit, you're going to come back in and clean the inside. So she was coming in and out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah? It wasn't until she heard Lizzie laugh from upstairs that she started to get suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
After he laid down, Lizzie said, Maggie, are you going out this afternoon? I said, I don't know. I might and I might not. I don't feel very well.
Okay.
And Maggie says, if you go out, be sure to lock the door, for Mrs. Borden has gone out on a sick call, and I might go out too.
And so she's saying this to...
She's saying that Lizzie said that.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then Bridget went upstairs to rest and was there for about 10 to 15 minutes before Lizzie yelled up for her following Andrew's
Papa's
murder.
been axed.
Yes. She didn't hear the screen door open, close, or slam during this entire time.
But when she went downstairs, like, she didn't see Lizzie smothered in blood.
No.
That's just
also
interesting.
She didn't hear the murder, then her not hearing the door, it's like, whatever. Like,
I know, right?
You're going to hear the screen door and
you're
not
going to somebody get axed to death. You're
Yeah.
like, I didn't hear the screen door.
During her testimony, she then described how easily it would have been to see Abby's body in between the base of the bed and the floor.
Oh, yeah, we
up
talked
the
about
stairs.
okay.
So she was like, I don't understand how Lizzie couldn't have seen the body going up and down the stairs and in her own room.
Oh. I thought we were talking about Maggie.
Maggie brought it up in testimony saying...
Because we had brought it up.
Yes, yeah. So Maggie was like, how did you not see her?
She was like, I'm still on the perks. Like,
Yeah. So she was dropped as a suspect. Maggie was. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was solely now on Lizzie. In lieu of the circumstantial evidence against Lizzie, the judge determined that Lizzie was probably guilty.
Like a high percentile chance.
So back to what you were saying about like the judge deciding or the grand jury or whatever deciding if there should be a trial.
They're like, yeah.
And that was literally what he said was she's probably guilty.
Wow.
Yeah, like she's not given one clear answer, definitive information this entire trial.
So Lizzie was then arrested and moved to Bristol County Jail, and she would be jailed until her trial, which was a year later.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
So she was in jail.
In jail for a year?
She about 10 months she was in jail, until her
Fuck,
trial
that
started.
sucks. I'd be like, can I get like expedited like service here?
So the Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Lizzie A. Borden. Lizzie would be represented by a strong legal team.
Johnny Cochran.
Kim Kardashian.
Literally.
Andrew Jennings and George Robinson, who was the former Massachusetts governor.
What?
No.
She got the former governor on the payroll?
Interestingly enough, the inquest testimonies that we went over just now were thrown out before trial.
What?
They were barred from being used because her counsel was not present, and therefore they felt they couldn't use it as testimony because there was no lawyer present for the accused.
Probably on purpose.
Okay.
Tracking, yeah. The frustrating part, though, is that at that time that was allowed, so it was just a determination by the judge.
They were like, well, look at her. She's just a dainty little lady. She can't.
Exactly.
She didn't know no legal
now
stuff.
He's joking, but that's actually
true,
100% right. Like, that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
They're
Yeah.
like, you're right. She needs to be... how dare they not have it?
So at the trial, the prosecution presented a blue dress. Not the same blue dress that Lizzie burned, but a different blue dress, right? And the head of the alleged hatchet that killed the Bordens and the skulls of both Andrew and Abby to show the damage and lack of control that the killer had. So it was just the head, and a random blue dress.
Wow,
skulls,
this is
like crushed skulls.
And their skulls, yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Crazy. I mean, this is a very bizarre evidentiary thing. Here's a blue dress. Yeah. Notice it's blue. So, next exhibit. like what?
So a strange point of note in this chaos. Now, just imagine there's no cameras, but it's all like an artist.
It's a scribe.
Yeah, he's like drawing every situation that's happening. So when they brought out the skulls and the hatchet, Lizzie fainted in the trial.
Okay. This bitch is acting. This is literally like, I literally feel like it's like the Johnny Depp trial. And like, like I'm going to see her like fake fainting and like there's like a predetermined guy behind her like, oh, you okay?
So they had several witnesses on the stand that strengthened a motive and timeline for Lizzie. Investigators also reported how unlikely it was that Lizzie spent time in her barn eating pears while Andrew was being murdered, let alone at all because of how hot Fall River had been. So it's mid-August, and you're in the second floor of a barn eating pears.
Where all the heat goes.
That's got to be so hot.
I mean, those pears, how are they not spoiled?
So what they're saying is that she didn't...
It's like a sauna in there.
I don't know about you, but I would be full drenched. I would be Robin Williams on like a stand-up.
Can you imagine? Like, she's wearing a corset. Imagine like wearing like a vest.
Yeah, and nobody.
I would just.
And no witness mentioned anything.
Perspiration.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So on the other hand, her defense team focused mainly on placing the doubt in the jury's mind instead of proving innocence. That's what they do. Yeah.
You can prove reasonable doubt.
They also really played on the idea of the fact that she was a small woman and was unlikely to commit a murder of such magnitude.
It's such in her favor. Yeah. How could I do this?
And at the time, it was a very like fragile woman.
Yeah.
And this is such a brutal crime. I mean, my God.
Yes, that's
right.
It's
like very savage.
So they also raised the possibility of unknown enemies that Andrew may have had through business dealings and by attributing Lizzie's confusion to the morphine that she was being given. So it was all, tainted. It was a tainted testimony.
I mean, how was that legal back in the day?
Yeah.
Sedate her. Trust it, it's going to work out great.
So they were able to paint a picture of a possible stranger that came into the house, killed Abby, waited out for 2 hours for Andrew to return home somewhere in the house, committed the second murder, and escaped the home without alerting anyone.
I mean, this is when like his frugalness is actually, I mean, it's a 3,000 square foot house. There's not like that many places to hide. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like it's like a 25,000 square foot like mega mansion.
Yeah. And if he was hiding somewhere outside, like Maggie would have seen him.
Yeah.
I mean, he would just be like a dude. Right. Who's that guy over there?
He'd definitely stand out. Okay.
Lizzie was just a grieving Christian woman who had just lost her father and stepmother.
And just faint. Oh, the skulls! Oh.
Her defense team delivered a closing line, and it said, "To find her guilty, you must believe she is a fiend." Does she look it?
What does that mean?
Like a fiend, like a rabid, like I don't know, like a evil kind of, somebody on an obsessive trait would be like a fiend of something.
Okay.
Like a drug fiend.
Yeah,
I heard of that.
Yeah. Think of like a rat. Like,
So the trial lasted 12 days. It was extremely publicized, and crowds gathered to await the verdict. It was very OJ-like, yeah?
You know, it's weird. Like you say that she looked like a fiend when she's still like. And they're like, she actually kind of does look like asleep on the fucking thing.
She looked like a crackhead.
I know, it's like, she is a fiend.
By the 12th day, the jury went to deliberate 10 minutes.
Damn, that was fast.
The jury came back not guilty.
Wow.
Okay.
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
I mean, that's fast as fuck.
That's like cup of coffee, we're out.
All right, where we at, boys? Everybody okay with not guilty?
Not guilty.
That's what I was.
Hey, Fidelity. What's it cost to invest with the Fidelity app?
Start with as little as $1 with no account fees or trade commissions on U.S. stocks and ETFs.
That's music to my ears.
I can only talk.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Zero account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Sell order assessment fee not included. A limited number of ETFs are subject to a transaction-based service fee of $100. See full list at fidelity.com/commissions. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
No matter what you're looking for in a non-alcoholic beer, there's only one name that has it all. Athletic Brewing Co. Full flavor? It's athletic. Huge variety? It's athletic. Award-winning styles you can get online, at the bar, or the grocery store? It's athletic. In fact, when it comes to amazing non-alcoholic beer, there's no question. It's athletic. Ask for it and find out. Go to askforathletic.com to find your closest retailer today. Near Beer.
I was like,
It's a wrap.
Were they all like dudes on the thing?
Honestly, they were probably all white men.
Maybe she was like, maybe
100%.
See, one of my kind of things is like maybe she was like sowing the seeds to like get them on her side, and they're like, well, I boned her. She doesn't seem like a fiend to me. Not guilty.
Despite the verdict,
I'm saying.
Despite
Maybe
the verdict,
I got a shot after this.
I know.
No, that's horrible.
I know. She said that she would do the weird stuff with me if I was not guilty.
Despite the verdict, citizens of Fall River believed that Lizzie was guilty, and she would go on to live a rather lonely life, with the majority of the town shunning her.
Oh, that makes sense.
She moved out of the home and moved to
The
hill.
I knew I was going to say the hill.
She moved to the hill, so she got what she wanted, and she moved to the hill. Instead of Lizzie, though, she now went by Liz. She went and she lived there with her sister Emma.
Oh wow! Just like two cat ladies.
She never went to marry. She never went.
Both of them probably.
She never got a job. Mm-hmm. She threw a few lavish parties with celebrities and elites.
Oh, she got the money.
Yeah,
she got the cash. Give me the cash.
And apparently, people and celebrities would go there just to go and see Lizzie Borden.
Oh, for sure. I would be like,
almost kind of like OJ throwing parties afterwards,
True.
and you'd be like,
I kind of just want to see for myself.
Yeah. So little selfie with him.
Yeah. I wouldn't do the selfie, but I would take a picture of it.
I'm saying other celebrities.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So her older sister Emma would live with her on the hill until they had a falling out after 1905, and they never spoke to each other again.
She was ex-murdered?
I don't know. That was 15 years later, and they just had some falling out, and they never spoke to each other again.
She was probably giving her sister shitty allowance.
Well, no, the older sister would have gotten more of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sorry.
More?
Emma, the older.
She would have gotten more inheritance?
Yeah, usually. Usually, not all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's split evenly, but for the most part, it's like your successor. That sort of thing. Lizzie Lisbeth Borden, she died in 1927 at the age of 66.
Damn, that's fucking shit lifespan.
8 days later, her sister Emma died.
Damn, they must have been super tight.
The two sisters were buried at their family burial plot side by side with their parents. The house where the Borden murders occurred can still be visited today.
We got to check this out, boys.
Also,
we got to do a little trip.
I'm going to do like little samples.
Sometimes the owners create a bed and breakfast at the Lizzie Borden murder house.
Where they give you Johnny Jacks and bacon. Johnny Cakes. Whatever.
There's no electricity and no plumbing.
You still take shits outside. There's no lights.
Yeah, it's $4.99 a night. Awesome.
It's got 4 stars.
Plus $125 Airbnb cleaning fee.
For the chemicals.
So, she died into myth and legend.
Wow.
And she... Still, people wonder. I mean, it's very much a campfire tale. That poem that I had said at the beginning. And
40 strikes and 41 more. What the fuck is that? Lizzie Borden, that dirty hole.
I like that one better.
Yeah, that one's better.
Yeah. Okay, so
one important detail that we did miss was if the stepmom would have died after the dad, right?
Yeah.
Then the inheritance would have gone to her.
Well,
first.
she would have
technically it goes to her, and then whoever she leaves
her
it
family.
to.
She would have, because there were separate inheritances for everyone.
Yeah.
But the stepmom got like the most.
Yeah, correct.
So that most part would have then went to her family.
Her family.
And the girls would have missed out on that.
Yeah.
So what's weird about that is, how the hell do they know who died first?
I know, right?
How did they determine
it
that?
It seems like it was 2 hours ahead.
But how the fuck do they know that
shit?
They couldn't even.
But isn't there coagulation of blood and stuff like that?
Really? It's coagulation of blood. Meanwhile, they're
you're giving
2
way
hours?
too much credit.
Meanwhile, they're
how long does it take?
stepping fucking through the blood.
I know. How long does it take for blood to coagulate?
I don't know.
But if it's more than 2 hours,
the
though.
job
I feel
that
like
they
it's
did,
like 10 or 15.
But the job that they did, letting everybody run through there and no control of the scene, they don't sound like somebody that.
They're like, rigor mortis, sit in. Look at this. Judging by the size of these larvae, this is exactly no, they didn't fucking know shit.
Yeah.
Well, so the obvious answer for the murders is Lizzie.
I mean, it's
right.
Yeah,
that's the obvious one.
Obvious.
Her testimony was contradictory and made her seem even more guilty. She tried to buy poison the day before the murders.
Literally,
she was openly unhappy. She had potential motive with the stepmom because she just wanted the money, or she just
she's been
hated her lifestyle.
She's been pissed about money for 20 years,
and then allegedly dad raping her.
That's right.
That could have been motive.
Or maybe she was really taken aback by some sort of sexual relationship with the maid. Maybe she was upset about it.
That's one theory.
Also, maybe she was extremely upset about the pigeons being murdered. I don't know. You
kill your dad over some pigeons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe it's like your only thing.
Yeah.
And then your dad cuts their heads off. I don't know.
And then so she kills him with the same axe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll show you, Dad.
Kind of reminds me of you ever seen that video of the dad that he mows over his son's like video games?
Yeah,
and then he like freaks out.
Yeah,
So he's like trying to teach him a lesson.
And it's like on the riding mode.
Yeah, it's like one of those riding modes.
He like full fucking jets in. Like,
but it's funny because he's like sitting there, the motor's going, or the lawn
like,
motor's going.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. And then he like does it. He like fucking freaks out.
Is it older?
Huh?
Is it an older video?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was super legit because it was literally like a standoff. Like,
You're
Dad
right.
is literally on the running mower and like is a pile of shit just sitting, and then he's like, "You get a
That's my
fucking job."
life.
He's like, "I've been trying to get you to get a damn
like I
job
have
for 2
seen this.
years."
I feel like I have seen that.
He's like, "No, Dad, you understand?" And it was like playing cards. I think it was like Pokemon cards or like magic
No, I think it was
cards.
video games.
I'm pretty sure it was like cards.
Okay.
And then like literally this fucking shreds them all. We'll find
So
it.
like something like that could send you in a rage.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. While Bridget cleaned the windows, Lizzie had the opportunity to commit the crime, unheard and unseen, and she had the time to clean herself up. We know that she locked the door because her father later struggled to get in, preventing Bridget from entering the room had she wanted to during the first murder. Lizzie brainstormed a plan to say that her stepmother had gone out while she was really just dead, buying her some time before anyone would see the body.
For hide the blue dress.
Some argue that she had intentions to also kill her father, but perhaps also that she intended to kill the stepmother, and then her father just came in and she killed him out of chaos and like momentary.
No, hell
you
no.
know.
Because
Man,
remember,
I gotta get my thing.
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, because remember, like he was asleep, so it's not like out of the moment.
I know,
right?
yeah.
It was definitely.
He's supposedly asleep.
Couldn't you stage that?
I don't know.
So like I mean, I don't know if you want to dive into it, but there are photos. There's
really?
crime scene photos of the dead bodies.
Well, we gotta put that up on Patreon.
Fucking
Yeah.
vein, like fucking.
Yeah,
we gotta put that up on Patreon.
I know, yeah, but that's like super, like it's gory, you know. But we'll put it on the Patreon.
They're paying for it. That they want it.
Yeah, they want it.
But there's an interesting fact, which is that his coat was rolled up under his head.
But remember, she said she watched him take his coat off.
I know. So maybe you
and
use
hang
it as
up.
a pillow.
I mean, he seems like he wouldn't buy pillows. Fucking,
So
she's fucking cheap as
True.
fuck. Yeah, it's
True.
like,
It was just
I'm surprised he had a couch.
It's just a strange. It's just a strange part of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Many question the lack of blood.
That's what I've been saying the whole
100%.
fucking time. There'd be
Yes.
blood
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Lizzie didn't have a trace of blood on her.
Dude, like, you know, like there's like how much? Like, I think there's like what 8 liters? How much fucking blood's in the
So
body?
here's the theory on that. Here's
It'd
the
be
theory.
very hard to get
Here's
rid
the
of that
theory.
much blood on you.
Here's the theory. She was a little crazy, and she did it all naked.
No,
dude,
naked.
I think she maybe did the. My thing is, well, she couldn't know because
She had like 4 hours to do anything.
She ended up burning the blue dress though.
True.
So I think maybe she wore the blue dress for one and was like, oh shit, this is stupid.
This doesn't work.
Yeah. And then she's like, naked,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then maybe like the dad's like sitting there and he's like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
put your fucking clothes on. He's just
I
like,
don't know. I think if you're gonna do that kind of murder and that kind of rage, you're not gonna think through of like, oh, maybe I should be naked so the blood doesn't get on my dress.
I mean,
I don't think so.
Or maybe.
Other
maybe-
theories.
Maybe you're
She's
that,
much of a
you're that
psycho.
crazy. You're like,
Yeah.
I thought this through.
Another weird theory is that she used her father's coat inside out and did the murders and then pulled it back and then put it under his head.
And they didn't like. They're like. I can just imagine the cops being like, "Oh, coat, trash."
They're trying to figure out why his coat was covered in blood and rolled up under his head.
Oh, so she wears it, then she puts it under his head because it's covered in
Right.
blood. Ooh, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But
That's hella smart,
Wouldn't
though.
it be covered in blood because you hit him in the head 18 times?
That's why you would put it under his head.
Right.
No, but I mean, if he was sleeping on it, and then you hit him 18 times.
No, but he
would
took it
be
off.
No, but
He took it off when he got
but the thing
Oh,
is,
I
like,
see.
the reason that she would put it under his head is for that reason. It would be covered in blood.
No, but he was saying like
Yeah.
if he was wearing it, but no, he took it off.
No,
she put it on.
No, she was.
while he
she
was
was saying the
sleeping.
theory is that.
Right?
The theory was that Lizzie put on his jacket, killed him, then rolled it up and put it under his head.
Yeah.
Because
I know, but
it would be covered in blood.
Such a confusing tactic. She's like, I'm gonna fucking put my fucking dad's coat on, then
idiot.
kill him,
Hell
then
yeah.
roll it up. So complicated.
I know, she was watching medieval forensic files back in the day. See, my thing is like, why didn't they ask the maid, like, okay, she was wearing this blue dress the day of the murder.
Where's the blue dress?
Why didn't they ask the maid, like, when did she change? Why did she change? Like, or did she change? Was she wearing the same blue dress when you saw her late 2 hours later? Or was she wearing something different?
Well, don't forget she went back to her room and laid down because she wasn't feeling well.
And
so
changed?
She probably changed.
But why who the fuck changed?
No. Another theory is that there was a vigilante running through Fall River, and
a vigilante,
or
a murderer.
Yeah, a murderer. A vigilante's trying to do good.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like a person doing bad things to do good.
Like a robber.
Well, that's
not a vigilante.
A criminal.
A criminal.
Yeah. A vigilante's like Batman.
All right.
He's a good dude.
Caprice.
You're blaming her? You're blaming her? Like, I'm gonna voice over, and you're gonna say Caprice, and be like, Eric. I can do voiceovers. Like,
some believe that Lizzie may have had an accomplice, like Emma or her uncle or Maggie, and even the local doctor, Dr. Bowen. Emma, although claiming the dress burning idea was her own, she was ruled out as a suspect because she didn't really have a motive like Lizzie did. She didn't really she wasn't really at odds with the parents.
She didn't really care about the money.
Her uncle had a strong alibi, but some alleged he was having an affair and helped Lizzie plan the murders. I mean, there's so many stories going on. This is This is the hot goss.
This is like small town goss. They're like, you know what I heard?
One of those like DB Cooper situations where everybody has a story. Everybody wants to like put their 2 cents in there.
Then on the deathbed, the guy's like, I'm the axe. I'm like, what? He's like, I did it.
So some say that Bridget could have, or Maggie could have been present for the second murder and was washing windows to build an alibi during the first murder. So they did it together. One did one and one did the other. And then,
Dude, that's where I'm at, bro. That's what I was thinking.
Some say
after the first episode.
So the doctor, some believe, came in and out of the Borden house following the murders and helped destroy evidence for Lizzie because he may have liked her and invited her to the movies a couple times, and that was a witness that said that.
Let's go to the cinema, and he's like, to the popcorn. Like, come on. Have a grab, have a taste.
So, of course, these are all hearsay witness testimonies and, an inquest, not necessarily the trial and that sort of thing. So, but now let's just say, because I know all evidence points to Lizzie. So let's just say it was not Lizzie. Okay. Was it a stranger, a random act? At trial, they discussed other related crimes in the area and found that in May of 1893, another woman had been bludgeoned 23 times with a hatchet.
Oh, wow. What?
Also in the daytime. However, she was robbed, and they figured out who did it. So
it was solved.
Yeah, but it could have been almost like a serial case.
And
somebody with a hatchet. Just saying it was a nearby.
And it was similar. It was very similar circumstances.
Yes. And the weapon, the hatchet, was found at the scene of that crime. There were similarities, but it was ruled unrelated because the killer was not even in the United States at the time of the Borden murders.
Okay. So
you know
it's
what
a
I mean?
weird, stupid, pointless theory to mention.
Wearing a Men's Warehouse outfit makes you confident, like you could do anything, so you dance like no one is watching, even though everyone is watching. Because of the Men's Warehouse outfit, you interview like the job is already yours because it is. Because of the Men's Warehouse outfit, you golf as if the rules don't apply to you because you're too well dressed for rules. Because of the Men's Warehouse outfit. At Men's Warehouse, get measured, get fitted, get hot, get confident in everything from tailored suits to underwear and all the stuff in between. Love the way you look at Men's Warehouse.
Welcome to the Flash Finds podcast, the world's fastest podcast where we explore how Facebook can help you with the stuff you're into. I'm your host, Emma Rogue, and today I'm with creator and chef Chris Cho. Chris, what do people get out of your reels?
So people are super intimidated when they want to first try cooking Korean food, but through Facebook Reels, I make it super fun and easy and accessible within a 30 to 60 second video.
Reels is the cheat code. Thanks, Chris. See you next time on the Flash Finds podcast, all about discovering the stuff on Facebook you care about. Bye.
So then the other theory is the poisoning. That they were being poisoned over a long term and it wasn't working, and then they
just got pissed and were like, fucking
let's
come
do
on,
this.
expedite the plans.
Yes.
I'm trying to go to the hills.
Yeah.
I like that theory.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's the classic. It's the whodunit series. It's the murder mystery. It's the
Dude,
it's a classic. Honestly, it's like the OJ trial.
Right.
But 140 years.
I know.
ago.
I know
130
exactly.
years
I know.
ago.
I got it. I solved
Yeah?
it. I literally solved it. All right. So
Good. We got no more papers. Now it's all go time. Okay.
All right. So it was Lizzie and Maggie. So they both did, and I thought this after the first. I thought this after the first episode. So hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they both had. I think Lizzie had her issues with both. I think she had more issues with the stepmom.
Okay.
I think she
was just a bitch.
I think she had shit with her dad, but she was more pissed off with the stepmom, and I think Maggie was probably had shit with the dad. Either maybe he, maybe
Maggie,
I don't know if
Now, when you say shit, you mean like he was raping her, sexual assault?
I don't know if
type
it was
shit,
sexual assault or it's like getting paid
tension. There's a lot of
getting
tension.
paid shit money, and I think they were
She's probably happy to have a job.
No.
What the fuck?
You should be happy you're working here.
That's Jorge's standpoint. You can be happy you're employed.
No, just imagine it though. Imagine Lizzie's growing up like this.
Yeah.
She's constantly at odds about this money thing.
Yeah.
Then you have when he's going to work, it's just her at home, and who's there to commiserate with? The maid.
Yeah.
So they become homies.
Yeah.
They're they talk to each other every day. And you don't fucking talk to anybody else. Obviously with her sister, you should talk to her sister, but I think her and the maid eventually started commiserating, and maybe she was like, hey, this has been happening with your dad, but he was doing advances, or maybe just paying her like shit, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were they started plotting, and hear me out.
Yep.
So I think Lizzie kills the stepmom
In the morning.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
First thing.
Yeah.
Like 9:30
Yeah,
or
the maid,
9:30.
Second floor.
the maid knows, and the maid is outside, and so blah blah blah. That happens. Lizzie goes. Lizzie changes. Then the maid lets the dad in, gets him fucking cozy on the couch, fucking kills him, and then
2 hours later.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then
So when did the maid find out about the mom?
No, I think they were in
already
it
knew.
together. I
So
think
she already
They
knew.
planned it.
I think it was
Yeah.
a plan.
He's saying they
And
planned
I think
it.
it was a plan to do that, and then Lizzie breaks off the maid a little bit of cashola on the back end because there's stories. Since their stories there was.
But it almost seems like they turned against each other during the trial. You know what I mean?
No, because if you actually look at what the maid says about Lizzie, she never says anything really incriminating.
Yeah.
She
True.
just says well, I did the lock thing, and she's like, well, I greeted my dad, and then she was like, well, I didn't hear a door, and then she never was like, well, Lizzie was acting weird, or I saw Lizzie and that's why I thought the dress thing, well, Lizzie changed clothes, which I thought was odd.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's nothing incriminating, and the whole point of a trial is to cause reasonable doubt. So I think by their conflicting things, it just got so confusing that the jury was like, fuck this.
10 minutes and we're
they're
done.
like, I don't want to be here any longer.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
So I think they were in
What
it together.
loser juries or jury?
Oh my god! Nowadays, people just disagree. Disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
10 minutes though.
That's so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, but 12 days.
Okay, that's an interesting theory.
No, it's not a theory.
It's not.
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's what happened.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's what happened, because otherwise, there's no way that if it was just one of them, that the other person doesn't know or have.
Yeah,
more.
they're all
in the house. They're just in the fucking house.
This is not like a sniper shot.
I know,
and
they're
like
all
in a
just-
closet.
Right.
This is 18 to 20 whacks each.
And if you, dude, I'm sorry, if you're
in different floors.
If you're the maid and over a fucking multiple hour period, you don't waltz upstairs to check on the situation, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or Lizzie doesn't. It's impossible that one of them didn't notice that there was a dead body in there for 2 hours. It's impossible. One of them would have fucking.
Yeah. Okay.
One of them
like
is who? The Lizzie or Maggie and
So Bridget, Maggie.
So
and
Abby
Lizzie.
and Andrew are the dead ones. And
Right.
then Maggie.
Emma, the sister's
Maggie,
in town.
but she's in town.
Out of town.
So who else was there?
Out of town.
It's the maid, Maggie,
Yeah.
Bridget, and
Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
they're in cahoots.
Yeah, I know, but you said that one of them would notice that the
No, meaning if only one did it.
Oh, okay.
The odds of the other person in the house not realizing that
Yeah.
something's aloof.
He's saying upstairs. Say Lizzie whacked the mom 20 times.
Yeah.
And she's outside like the maid is like cleaning the windows.
Yeah.
And doesn't notice. He's saying that's
doesn't
absurd.
notice anything off.
No screams.
Nothing.
No screams.
Nothing.
No blood.
Nothing.
No like fucking.
And she's cleaning the inside of
No,
the
but she's
windows
not cleaning
and the
second
outside.
floor.
No, but
we don't know.
But then she goes inside.
She's not cleaning
Then she
the
goes
second floor windows.
She's like roped up with a pulley.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like scaffolding built up.
I know. Right?
Yeah, she's definitely doing the.
No, but
yeah,
then you
she
go
would do
inside and like you wouldn't like. You would come on. Like it's just the odds are like astronomically low. Astro-fucking-nomically low.
Oh, he's on the edge.
I don't know about
that. Agree with me now. All right. Actually, it's fine.
I like it. I actually think it's a
I like
grounded.
it.
I think it's a grounded.
You don't
theory.
have to agree.
I think
my
it's
No,
theory.
I like it. I
it's a
don't
grounded
necessarily
theory.
agree. I think that it was all on Lizzie.
It's just straightforward. It's
It was
Lizzie did.
motivated by years of like the dad keeping the money from her and running this like you like this thing
No
of
lights,
like
no plumbing,
exactly
nothing. You're poor. You're poor.
and she she wanted that, and every time she would go out she'd probably get bullied about it or something like that, right? And so like that started to like brew. And like it started to motivate
20
her.
years later.
Exactly.
Like, fuck this.
Okay. And she's like 30 years old now.
Yeah.
She's like.
Add to that the stepmom. She don't like the stepmom. She hates the stepmom, right? And
she waited till her sister left. Knew her sister was gonna be there. Doesn't want to incriminate her.
Exactly.
They're homies. She loves her.
exactly.
That's not bad.
And the fact that Maggie didn't hear anything about the mom getting murdered. I just think, I mean, it is kind of weird, like no screams, no nothing. But we did, according to what we were reading, is the first blow was deadly.
Deadly for both of them.
Kill shot.
Yeah, so maybe there's no screams.
Rage.
There's no screams.
True.
It's like boom.
True.
Dead.
Wouldn't hear
and
anything.
then it's just like rage. Fucking.
How do they know what the first blow was though? With
I
their
know,
fucking
that's a good point.
crack detective work. I mean,
I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, axe to the face.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whilst that sucks, it doesn't necessarily.
So if it's
Yeah,
a big
true.
house like
It's
that,
20 swings.
there's got to be
How
a
do you
way
put
for
yours?
there's got to be a way for her to get out, escape, go like
Eat some pears.
yeah, eat some pears, clean
Definitely
up.
did that. We know that.
100%.
No,
for sure.
Like,
She went somewhere, got cleaned up. She came back, and it was already like premeditated that she was going to take the dad out too because she wanted the money. I think the whole motivation
Really?
behind it. Yeah, I
You
think
think
the
it's
whole
money?
motivation behind it is money. Yeah.
My thing that sucks.
I think
is
she
like,
was so caught up in like the whole social
Life of it.
life aspect of it
She was
that
stealing shit from stores.
well, but that's because she couldn't
I
fucking have any
know.
money,
Yeah,
and even though
yeah.
she knew she could buy it, but she couldn't because it was the dad's money,
Yeah.
right? And
Okay.
so that means she wanted it, but she couldn't have it, so she had
Yeah.
to steal it. So the only way to like go legit and like really get what she always wanted was to have this inheritance.
See, my only
But she
whole-
got to take the mom out because then, of course, she wouldn't get any inheritance if she was still alive.
But my only hole in that is like, is it really worth the double cleanup?
I
They clean up
know.
twice.
2 or 3 hours
So you
later.
gotta change twice. You know how much long? Like,
But why
Somebody
wait?
get my corset. Like, why do the double?
Do you think the waiting had to do with the inheritance? Remember what we talked
waiting,
about?
like killing the mom
Making
first?
sure everybody knew that she died first.
No, I think that was on accident.
accident?
I think it was an accident, like a happenstance.
I think she had more rage for the mom than she did for the
She just
dad.
fucking hated her.
Yeah. I think she just fucking hated her. And then the dad was more about the motivation about the money. And she's
Yeah.
like, both of them got to be gone for this to
And I can't see her thinking through
be worth
that.
it.
I
quote
can't see
unquote.
her thinking through like, oh, in order to get this more inheritance, I got to kill her. I
No.
don't see that thought happening.
I think the sister just
Emma.
Yeah, the sister Emma. I think that she told her to burn the thing because she probably believed that she wasn't the one that did it,
Yeah.
and she wanted to back her up and like not see her go to
Like
fucking
what you would
jail,
do with
rot
your
in
brother.
jail, and like
I just thought of some crazy shit.
What?
What if? Dude, what if Emma was the one who like had been like putting this fucking seed in like her fucking little crazy little sister's head the whole time? Like, man, I wish they would just die.
Or the poison.
Yeah, like man, like
so maybe the poison was
God,
Emma.
Our lives would be so much better, Lizzie,
Man,
if they
these-
weren't
these
here.
kids are fucked up.
I know. It's like
kids
it's
are
all the time.
fucking crazy.
He's like, I'm gonna go to the store, Emma.
Yeah.
If they're not here when I get back, that's fine. Love you.
Wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, like, look.
Wink, wink, wink.
God, I think I left my hatchet in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and then maybe the pigeon situation thing,
Just
like
set-
just
that was-
fucking
that was a
set her
fucking-
off.
And it
The
may
straw
not.
that
If
broke
she's
the-
really a psycho, like
Yeah.
something like that could set her off.
Yeah,
right?
dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like maybe we don't relate to the pigeon, but like.
But maybe for her that was like life.
Yeah, exactly.
Your
Like
pets.
she doesn't go anywhere. She
Yeah.
can't buy anything and go
fucking
out and have
pets.
fun.
Yeah.
That's her pet. That's her fun. That's her
The only
like
thing
her,
she,
her
like,
babies.
talks to,
And
like-
she don't have a husband. She don't like have
Yeah.
any babies
Yeah.
for real. Like so that was
Okay.
it for her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got something similar. It's a little bit more on Sean's side.
Okay.
But I believe it was Lizzie.
Fuck you guys.
No, I believe it was Lizzie.
Yeah.
But I believe they knew about it.
Who knew?
Who?
You say they.
Maggie and Emma.
Maggie and Emma.
And
Oh, they
Emma.
both knew, and they were
both
just like,
knew.
yeah, fuck it.
Okay.
And they just let it happen. Like kind of like complacent. Like
Yeah, I'm just not going to stop it.
yeah, and I'm gonna
So-
help you, and I'm gonna help cover it up, and it happened. These guys like they were abused or they were fucked up or
Right.
because like all of that weird stuff about the money and the plumbing and all that sort of thing.
It's a lot.
It's actually it feels like there's something else.
Like it's actually like
Like
drug money. He's
Yeah,
like,
or
it's
no, like abusive or like there's
right. That's his
more
way of-
stern.
his control.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
control you.
That's all we know. That's just the parts we know.
Yeah.
So I felt like there's more.
Like, maybe the
Like,
dad's
maybe he
like
did.
a real piece
Yeah.
of shit. He's
Yeah,
like
maybe
touching
he's a real
everybody.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
And so then Lizzie was just crazy enough to do it.
Oh, and, maybe
then they were like, you know what? Fuck yeah.
Maybe they killed the mom too because she knew about it and she
Yeah.
wasn't doing anything.
She was a
She's like,
bitch, too.
Whatever.
And so then Emma.
She was a bitch too. Fuck her.
So then Maggie and Emma were like, you know what? It was the right thing to do, and now we're gonna have to cover this up.
And the jury hated the dad or
This is the part-
sympathized with Lizzie.
I think it was more of a
like maybe
sympathizer.
everybody in
sucks.
town like hated
Was
the dad.
in on it. The whole town conspiracy. They're like,
they're not in on
fucking
it, but
kill
they, just, like,
his
they knew
ass.
his reputation.
Honestly, the jury
they hated
part,
him.
the jury part sucks because I feel like the lawyers just did a good job.
I think
I know. I hate that.
I feel
that
like
sounds
I feel
simple
like
enough,
the DA
but,
just like really fucked up. They brought
Yeah.
a random blue dress.
Yeah.
Like
Can
y'all
you-
fucked up at that point.
like at that point, you don't think that like proper woman can do 40 fucking axes.
I mean, that's
wax to the
that's
to the face,
especially to her dad.
Right.
You know, they were like,
To the
my daughter would
face.
never do that to me.
I
I don't want to
I
believe
do
that.
think we're giving the lawyers like too much credit for being like good lawyers. Like back then, I feel like it was just kind of like.
really
I
have
mean, honestly, that was the golden age of being a lawyer.
I know. There's like no evidence at all.
I can't lose.
I know. You're literally like,
Yeah.
they're like, look at her. Did she look like a woman to you? Yes. Innocent.
That was the time of the lawyer where you could argue the fuck out of anything.
You didn't even need a degree.
You know,
Look
look at those pretty blue eyes. Those pretty blue eyes are beautiful.
Look at how fit she is.
Couldn't
She's
do it.
fit as fuck. She couldn't kill
That's some
nobody.
childbearing hips right there.
She's still waiting for her first child. You think she would rob herself of her first child? Dude, you could
So we
totally
all
do-
agree. We all agree. Lizzie had something to do with it.
100%.
Yeah.
Without
Lizzie had
that's
something to do with it. And
Unquestionable.
maybe each of us have our alteration of.
Oh yeah, you're like everyone's in on it.
Yeah.
Jorge's like, she's a psycho. Yeah. And I'm like, she's in it with the maid.
Yeah.
I don't think she was boning the maid.
Do you think the maid did some whacking?
Oh, I think the maid for sure
did one of the whacking.
I think the maid killed. I think the maid killed the dad, and I think Lizzie killed the mom.
Okay. All right. Well, we'd love to hear what you guys think. We'll do a poll, obviously.
Yeah, there'll be
and,
many options. Will be
yeah.
like Lizzie solo,
Yeah.
Lizzie plus maid, Lizzie
Yeah.
plus family.
But now,
Or
if
the
you're
town.
Or straight,
Yeah.
or
The town.
the town.
the whole fucking town was
The
involved.
town literally has come together to lynch him.
But now, if you're at a campfire and you're doing scary stories, you can tell the story of Lizzie
you go.
Borden.
Can I give me the first page of that other
Yeah.
one?
And yeah, you want to wrap it up with the poem
Yeah, I
or with the
I
rhyme?
do want to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. And when she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41.
And then if you go down, you can hear even the last.
Yeah.
The last.
Close
one
your door and lock it and latch. Close your door, lock and latch it, 'cause here come Lizzie with a hatchet.
Dude, that's fucking legit. Can you imagine being on a campfire and just fucking with the flashlight and
Oh
going?
my god, like a
Yes.
flask, and like you're like, good night, kids, and they're like, what? And you're like, fuck this.
Or you guys could just play these 2 episodes and let us do the talking.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Well, don't bring your kids because they're not going to be happy about it.
But there you go. Thank you, Cece. This one's for you. And again, Caprice and Ben.
And Ben. I didn't fuck it up that time.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys. And,
yeah, seriously, it's so awesome.
We'll catch you guys next time, huh?
See you guys.
Nighty night.